are too many to harvest. I transform to all-purpose farming tool to knife or scissors and harvest them. Even if I didn't get tired harvesting them, just remembering it makes me feel dizzy. The Kuros did not help me harvest. I harvested those all by myself. I don't hate it. I don't dislike it. I have to do it. I did my best. I managed to finish it somehow, but it took me 6 days to harvest 12 fields. I intended the tree trunk to be the food storage place, but since it didn't fit, I began putting them to my own house. Problem number 1. Because the tomatoes are already ripe, they should be eaten in a hurry. Fortunately, the Kuros ate them happily. Problem number 2. The strawberries are also ripe already, so they should be eaten in a hurry. Not all Kuros liked them. Kuros and Yuki ate them with pleasure. The females like them, but it seems that the males don't. They ate them happily. Problem number 3. We have to eat them soon before they get rotten. TN. Problem 1, 2, and 3 are the same. Problem number 4. There is no seasoning. Problem number 5. There is no cooking utensil. Fufafu. My life won't get better with just farming. Without salt, even boiled corn is tasteless. And I want to make a rice paddy next. Yes, if it's rice, I can eat it just by cooking it. Cooking utensils. Problems are piling up. After harvesting and eating the harvests, I started making cooking utensils. As for the pumpkin, it's hard when raw. I made a stone board for grilling. I cut a large rock with the all-purpose farming tool, hook it and carry it, then arranged it in a way that I can put fire below. Looking at it, it seems like a table made of stone. It is possible for the all-purpose farming tool to cut the rock thinly, but it will be difficult to ascertain the limit because the rock can crack by its own weight. It was completed, but I think it would be useless unless the stone board was heated for a long time. This might be the limit for now. Next, kitchen knife. I can cut crops with the all-purpose farming tool, but I want to make a kitchen knife that can cut meat. It will also be made of stone. I shaved a stone of moderate size into a kitchen knife and sharpened the blade part. It cuts the rabbit meat with ease, so it might be good enough. I thought about making spares, so I made 3 of them. And a pot. I begin making it by scrapping a big rock. It will burn if it is made of wood. I easily made one using the all-purpose farming tool, but it's heavy. If I discovered clay someday, I'll make a pot. At any rate, the pot was completed. I also made a matching lid made of stone, but I imagined using it when it's hot and abandoned it. I decided to make the lid with wood. It became a little troublesome because the Kuros got excited when they thought that it was a new flying disc. Chapter 11. Kuro's side. I don't have a name. I am a creature that wanders through the forest and lives the days of my lives by hunting. I have always lived like that, and I thought that I will still live like that in the future. However, there was a fated encounter. A female with the same form as me. While thinking how good of a female she is, we were attacked. I don't know what it is, but I counterattacked, but I can't do anything. I was confident with my fighting power, but I was not able to do anything with the enemy. When I was prepared for my death, female ordered me to cooperate with her, and we were triumphant in the end. I was not able to do anything about it alone. I have lived alone ever since, but now, there are 2 of us. When a male and a female are together, the female's stomach will grow because they have done something. I'm going to have a family. Well, I don't feel bad about it. While we are spending our daily lives in the forest, when she was about to give birth, we met the worst enemy. The inhabitants of the forest could only hide against it. Grappler bear. It is the king of the forest. Its ridiculously big body match its power. Even if its movement as a whole is slow, the movement speed of its limbs is fast. Normally, if we meet it, we should escape immediately, but female is pregnant and won't be able to do that. It is impossible to run away. I used myself as a shield when the grappler bear was about to attack female. Scary. I found out that it is impossible. However, we can't escape. I have to earn her time to escape. I thought so and stepped forward in a moment. The grappler bear's arms mowed down the nearby tree when it attacked me and female. The splinter hits female, but she was able to protect her belly. It can't be helped, so I shielded her with my body and was blown away. Overwhelming. My whole body was tattered with a single blow. Female got wounded too. I faced it full of determination, but the grappler bear disregarded me like ridiculing my resolution. Is it a whim? I really don't know, but it must have already had a full stomach. Irritating. It's irritating, but I can't do anything about it. Rather than that, we should move before it changes its mind. We left that place with me defending female. Several days have passed since then. My injured body is so heavy that I can't hunt. Knowing our condition, it is hard to catch a prey, hit and kill it. If I grow excited, I won't get anything. It will only make me hungrier. In any case, I, at least, need to feed female. I'm concerned about the pup in her belly. While thinking that I have to do something, we arrived at a strange place. Trees were lined up in front of a soil that was dug up. Apart from the dug up part, the trees that are laid down are trees that even I can't scratch. They are called unfalling large tree. Beside it is the same type of tree. How many of it are lined up? For the time being, I tried barking. Due to hunger, my voice was more miserable than I thought. However, it was not useless. A human came out from the other side of the tree. I did it. It is a meager guy, a prey. The moment I thought so, bad feeling attacked my whole body. I felt fear much stronger than the time we faced the grappler bear. That feeling is coming from the guy in front. Thinking about it, even if humans are meager, they are surrounding the outer part of the forest and do not go deep. To be able to live alone in the depth of the forest, you need to be stronger than humans. This is such a place. Yet, he's here. I must not judge him with his appearance. Now, I just thought that we're in a very dangerous situation. I was convinced when that human took out a stick and took a stance. I only barked, but I have summoned such a person. It's too late to regret it now. It seems that female, who's behind me, had prepared. She lining up behind me now. When it comes to it, I'll just do what I can. If possible, I wish he would at least spare female, but such a convenient thing will never happen. I looked at female's face. When I thought that this is the end, I got scared. However, it is not the end. The human invited me and female. I did not feel like escaping for some reason. When we followed the human, we saw a great boar. It's a big boar. It is one species who competes with us for the hegemony of the forest. Even female and I can't beat it together. It's down. No, it has become meat. I realized the strength of this human. After that, human gave us the great boar and gave us a place for female to give birth to. In addition, he can easily hunt prey in the forest for us. I should give him my thanks. In my mind, whatever happens, I don't want to go against him. No, female and I recognize this human is our master. Though our pups don't understand it yet because they were just born, but I don't want to oppose master if possible. Yoshi, there is a problem. Master treats us like dogs. I, female, and pups are species called Inferno Wolf. Will it be alright? I'm a little scared if he ever found out that we're not dogs. Chapter 12. Reconfirmation. There are too many insufficient things. I already know it. But I was conscious about these again. Currently, I want at least a seasoning. Salt. Though the crops are delicious the way they are, I want saltiness. Besides, salt is necessary if you are thinking about cooking and preservation. However, there is no sea around. I plowed around the area of my residence, but all I see at the distance are mountains in every direction. It seems like the place where I am is similar to a basin. Because of that, finding a sea is hopeless. My only hope is finding rock salt, but will I be able to find one? It would be pointless if I don't look for it. But before that, I need to plow the field again after finishing harvesting and raise the next crops. I can produce my desired crop if I think about what crop do I want to grow in it while making ridges using the all-purpose farming tool. Because there is a limit of storing crops, I will not make much this time. I would like to do an experiment to understand what I can do and what I can't do. Because of that, I tried designating a part of the field for fruit crops. It is easier to preserve fruits and I don't have to panic in harvesting too. For the time being, they will be apple, pears, tangerine, orange, persimmon, and peach. Fruit crops came from trees so they don't need ridges. I tried making assumption if I planted the seedlings here. Although I intended to plant them in one field, I got a bit uneasy so I put 4 on one field. I used 2 fields for them. If the fruits grow well, I'll plant more. Next, the churros liked tomatoes so I planted them in 2 fields. And I also tried planting rice on one side. It seems that rice grows from seedling, then plant them in a paddy field. I don't know the details about it. I have to try various experiments. In addition, I'm worried about whether I can make rice paddies using the all-purpose farming tool. Currently, if I try using the water from the well for it, my physical strength will be wasted. But I want to eat rice. Rice seedling is just phase 1. Let's experiment on creating a paddy field. After that, I want oil, so I'll also plant rapeseed. If it goes well, I'll need to devise a method to squeeze them. Can I transform the all-purpose farming tool into a squeezing tool? Does that kind of tool even exist? Will I be alright later? From the squeezing idea, I planted sugarcane on one side. Apart from salt, if this goes well, I can produce sugar. In addition, I also tried plating soybean and wheat through this empty field. I think I'll experiment rice paddy here. These cost me 2 days. I feel rejuvenated. I head for the forest in search of new things. When going to the forest, at least one of the Kuros is accompanying me. In some cases, my escorts increases. I'm delighted, but I want them to guard the fields. I tried advancing on various directions, but nothing particularly happened in 10 days. No matter where I go, nothing changed. It's still forest. We encountered the usual fanged rabbits, big rats, and big wild boars. The encounter rate is 30 to 8:1. It seems that there are many fanged rabbits in this forest. I saw a tall weasel-like animal, but it ran away as soon as it sees us, so I don't know how exactly it looks. Thinking about it, the Kuros are aggressive, so animals don't get near us. However, it is a pity that I didn't find anything new. Maybe it is not good that I advanced only to a degree where I could return to my residence by nightfall. Although the directions I plowed to can be considered as mapped, I don't think the soil will be flat again soon. If I keep doing this, the forest surrounding my residence will be done for, and it will be harder to secure woods. I wonder if the day will come that I'll need to secure wood somewhere else. I thought about it while eating boiled spinach, radish, and carrot. I want salt or other alternative seasoning. I'll look for 10 days more, but if I can't find anything, I'll work hard for wood security. By the way, in the 10 days where I was exploring, the rice and wheat germinated and small seedlings show up from the fruit crops. I hope that I'll be able to harvest fruits without any problems. Plowing while searching. I thought of something. Should I really need to plow, thinking that I need to secure woods? In other words, I should try using the all-purpose farming tool other than the hoe. A tool that is easier to move with other than a hoe. Wheelbarrow? Is it possible? It is. Oh, if there is a space where this wheelbarrow can advance to, I'll go there. Since I only need to push this thing and doesn't have to plow, my movement speed also increases. However, I thought of something. I never got lost in the forest because I'm moving while plowing. If I don't plow, I'll get lost. Should I give up on the wheelbarrow idea? When I thought about that, Kuroyan, who's accompanying me today, came into the wheelbarrow. It's not heavy, as expected of the all-purpose farming tool. Kuroyan is wagging his tail as if he got a new toy. That's right. If I'm with the Kuros, I will not get lost. Why? The Kuros are always entering the forest alone and come back with hunted rabbits. Oh, it's really a great idea. Let's go with that. By the way, since it can transform to a wheelbarrow, I tried transforming it to a bike or a mountain bike, but it was not possible. Chapter 13. River. Exploring using a wheelbarrow made me lose my way as I thought. However, thanks to the Kuros, I was able to return to my residence, so my explored area has expanded dramatically. On the 5th day of my exploration, I saw a river. It is river where there are rocks all over. I think the width is about 5 meters. When I walked upstream at the riverbank a little, I found a big rock wall with waterfall. Even if I say that it's a waterfall, it's not really a waterfall. It looks like a cliff with 60 degrees slope, but it is quite high, about 7 to 8 meters. It's a spectacular scenery. It's beautiful. I tried catching the water flow with my hand and it is quite cold, and the water is clean. This should be drinkable. Kuro, who's accompanying me today, is gulping water, so it seems to be alright. After finishing drinking water, I asked Kuro about the whereabouts of my residence. Kuro turned his head without hesitation. I changed the wheelbarrow form of the all-purpose farming tool to a hoe and began plowing towards that direction. I need to make a road that connects my residence to the waterfall. I used the hoe until it was about to get dark. I changed it to a wheelbarrow and went back to my residence for the time being. The next day, I asked Kuro the direction of the waterfall and plowed from my residence to that direction. I also made various things, so it took me 15 days to complete the path. The waterfall is located about 5 kilometers west of my residence. That's pretty far. The river with waterfall is curved and it seems to be flowing from north to south-southwest. Will I find something downstream? Well, let's think about it some other time. I made a road all the way to the waterfall in order to secure water. I have been using water from the well for drinking and watering the field, but it is difficult to carry it because it's from underground. However, the waterfall has a certain height. In other words, if I can make a waterway from the high waterfall, I can secure a lot of water. It will be for watering fields and rice paddies and bath. Though I thought of bath a while ago, it is difficult to carry the amount of water needed from the well, so I kept on postponing it. However, it will be difficult to make a waterway all the way to my residence. Although the Kuros are here, there are a lot of dangerous animals in the forest. If I build a waterway using the moat before the log fence, there is a possibility of something crossing and invading us. Okay, let's make a big reservoir outside the moat and log fence that is surrounding the field. The size would be 100 times 100 meters. It will be like an inverted pyramid where it will be deeper towards the center. The deepest portion would be about 5 meters. I've also done other things, so it took me 10 days to complete. Next is to dig drainage on the ground. This is not so difficult since I just need to direct it to the downstream side of the river. It took time, but I managed to inaugurate it a few days later. Now, all I need to do is to make a waterway towards the reservoir. How should I make it? If I can't take water from the upper part of the waterfall, water won't flow. In other words, I need to make it to a certain height. Idea 1. Make it using wood. Advantage: easy to make, maybe. Disadvantage: fragile, useless. Even if I can process wood using the all-purpose farming tool, I have to assemble it. Even if I manage to complete the waterway made of wood, I don't have nails or ropes to stabilize it. This is not feasible. Idea 2. Make it using rock. Advantage: hard to break. Disadvantage: hard to make. This is harsh. I need to arrange rocks in order to let the water to flow. It is not realistic to arrange rocks from the waterfall to the reservoir. I've already plowed everywhere before, but I was not able to find big enough rocks for that purpose. The rocks I need to use for this must be at least 1 meter tall, and that height must be maintained for a distance of approximately 5 kilometers. Idea 3. Earth. Why don't I make it with earth, then solidify it? If I hit the earth with the hammer form of the all-purpose farming tool, it solidifies like a concrete. That's it. Earth is everywhere and I just need to dig one like what I did with the drain too. That's a really good idea. I'll execute it. Now, let's go back to business. Chapter 14. Waterway making begins. Waterway making has only advanced a little. I piled up soil from the waterfall to the reservoir and hardened it with a hammer. Although I'm not getting tired since I'm using the all-purpose farming tool, I'm the only one working on it. Moreover, I also need to take care of the field. I spent 10 days to advance 500 meters, only 1/10. Moreover, I need to increase the amount of soil used as I go towards the waterfall. I don't think that it will be completed after 90 days. Should I disregard night and day and work on it non-stop? But if I do that, the Kuros will be affected too. Meanwhile, my planted tomatoes, rapeseed, and sugarcane can now be harvested. Because of that, my waterway work was interrupted. I focused on harvesting. As usual, the Kuros' favorite is the tomatoes. They eat it happily. Since the rapeseed needs to be squeezed to take oil, I only harvested and stocked them. I'll take them out after for squeezing. As for the sugarcane, the odor and sweetness spread in my mouth as I chew it, tasting sweet after a long time. I've teared a little. When I was chewing a sugar cane, the Kuros looked at me as if they want one too, so I gave it to them. It seems that among them, Yuki and Kurosan are the only ones who liked it. Just like with the strawberries I cut and gather. Wheat and soybeans need to be threshed, so I'm a little troubled because I never thought about threshing at all. There's nothing I can do as of now. For the time being, I'll just cut it all and think about something later. As for the rice, I intended to do something about the seedlings, but I left it halfway because I prioritized looking for salt and making waterway. I was not able to experiment on paddy fields too. I made the reservoir for the rice paddy and I need the waterway for it. I thought that they would be useless, but I was wrong. The seedlings grew up and grains showed up. Since I did not plant them in a paddy field, is there a problem with the yield? Or is it some different variety? I only yearned for farming, but I realized that I don't know anything at all. In any case, I also harvested all the rice. The fruit crops are now big trees but not enough to bore fruit. I guess it will take more time. However, the growth rate is quite different from normal. And, thinking about it, is it possible for me to plant cedar? Am I worried about securing woods? I should not panic. I need to do one thing at a time. After finishing harvesting, I planted tomatoes on 2 fields and let the other vacant. Even if I can do a lot of things, there's a limit to what I can do. First of all, I need to complete the waterway. I resumed working on the waterway. I'm endlessly working on it because it is depressing to do only that. I searched the forest for a change. I haven't given up on searching for rock salt. However, rock salt is a crystallized salt. I probably can't find any of it near the river, so I decided to look for it in the opposite direction of the river. There's no result. At the 30th day, I noticed that the tomatoes I planted on 2 fields are almost ready for harvesting. The temperature is falling. Season? That's it. I never thought about the possibility of winter because the rate of growth of the crops is fast. I've been careless. There seems to be season in this world too. Perhaps this is not that strange different world. How many days has it been since I got here? I harvested twice and it will be the 3rd soon. It takes 40 to 50 days from planting to harvesting. Considering 40 days, about 120 days. It has been 4 months since I started raising crops. I thought that it was spring when I arrived here. I died on May. If that is the case, then it is September now, or should I consider October? If this place is the same as Earth, it will be cold for some time. Should I consider that the cold days will be for about at least 90 days? For the time being, I need to secure food. If it snows, it will be impossible to go outside. Dangerous. This is not the time to make waterway. I should farm in a hurry. Potatoes, sweet potatoes, radish, and carrots are storable for a longer period of time. And, I need fire to protect myself from winter. I need firewoods to make fire. Originally, firewoods are dried woods, but using the all-purpose farming tool, the trees it cuts can be used as firewoods immediately. I'm thankful for it. I stacked a large amount of firewoods on the back of the large tree where I used to live in. Chapter 15. Winter Preparations and New Resident. I completely forgot about the possibility of winter. Though I said I want to be a farmer, but I definitely made a blunder. The crops should have notified me, but because of the out-of-the-norm crop growing speed, I never noticed what season it is. The weather too. So far, there were only 2 to 3 days heavy rains where I won't be able to do anything outside. The rest are just light rains. Those totally made me careless. Though there is only one human, I need to consider securing foods for the Kuros too. In order to store meat, I made a basement that would act as a refrigerator. It will turn cold just by being in the underground. I should have made one sooner. And hunt rabbits with the Kuros. If you're looking for something, you won't encounter them easily. Though I was not able to hunt even one. The Kuros hunted steadily. Because of that, I was in charge of blood training, internal organs, and meat processing instead. Blood draining. I'm working to remove the blood of the prey. The bloody smell of the meat decreases as I drain the blood. I remember the rabbit meat that I ate after I drained its blood was as delicious as the boar meat. Because of that, I tried draining blood as much as possible. As for the internal organs, Several parts are scary, so I throw them away. The Kuros are like, why are you throwing them away? They look sad. Internal organs are easy to rot, so they should be eaten immediately after processing. Also, depending on the part, feces, urine, gastric juices. I also saw melting big insects and frogs with mysterious colors. I don't think I can bring myself eat something that contains those. In the previous world, the only meat I eat is herbivores. I better not eat internal organs of omnivores and carnivores. But aren't these valuable nutrition source for the Kuros? I never heard any wild animals that avoid eating internal organs. Rather, they eat internal organs first. My knowledge from my previous world is working, so other than the digestive system, I gave everything else to the Kuros. What about this stone-like thing near the heart? Is this gallstone? But this is not a rabbit-exclusive thing, since the boar also has one. Is this common for the animals of this world? Is this thing can be eaten? I tried giving it to the Kuros and they gladly munched, crushed and ate it. Is that delicious? In any case, the internal organs are exclusively for the Kuros, and they should eat it on the same day. There's no way I'll stock it until the next day. By the way, Kuroichi, Kuroni, Kurosan, and Kuroyan are still smaller compared to Kuro and Yuki, but I think that they are already fine adult dogs. At the center of their foreheads, there are red, knife-like horns growing. Anyway, I left the Kuros to be in charge of meat security and just concentrate on supporting them. Then they managed to lure a big boar. Did they want me to take care of it? Are they depending on me, or did they give it to me because I can't hunt at all? Anyway, I can't let that invade the field, so I hit it in the neck using the hoe form. Then drain the blood and take off the internal organs. If I'm alone, this amount is more than enough for me for the winter, but the Kuros can eat more than expected. I want a few more boars. I want it. I collected grass as well. I obviously use them as wipes for buttocks, but they are also important for bed making. Considering that it will be cold because of winter, I want to keep a lot more. As a result, the grass bed I made was tattered in 10 days. As for wiping buttocks, I have to let them as fresh as possible. I even made a separate storage for them. Though it's easy to mow grass, it is hard to collect and carry them. I tried experimenting, have the Kuros carry it. I tied them to the Kuro's body, then have all of us move together, considering that the Kuros can't remove them alone. After that, I realized that I should do it alone. I would like the Kuros to continue hunting. Now, clothes. Because the Kuros have their own fur, they have no problem, but my top and bottom are just ordinary villager's outfit. I won't last at winter. I took my eyes on the rabbit and wild boar furs. I peeled them off. But what should I do next? They should be tanned. But how do I do that? According to the survival manga that I read a long time ago, it should be chewed to soften, but as I saw on TV, after washing thoroughly, the remaining fat on the fur should be melted and stretched it. I experimented on a rabbit fur. After spoiling 4 of them, I gave up. Impossible. It is impossible for an amateur to tan fur. I intended to completely hibernate, and just stay in the house during the winter. I went into the shed that I will turn into a house and made several measures against cold. For lighting, I made a dormer window. I made sure to make the window cover to surely fit the window. I double-plated the wall and put grass in between. The door I made so far a lean-type door, so I tried my best to make an ordinary door. Lean-type door means the door rests against it, not a thin door. The difficult part is the hinge. Since I have no metallic parts or nails, I gave up. I just directly hinged the door to the pillar. Though there might be a problem with durability, it will at least last this winter. This shed looks like a house now that a door was installed. Yes, civilization. Are these all the measures against cold for a house? If I ever need to move out, I'll rely on the all-purpose farming tool. Now, what should I do to the toilet? The toilet also needs protection against cold. When I was doing variety of things, Kuroyan, who had gone out to hunt, came to call me. Is there another boar? When I ran after Kuroyan thinking so, we moved to the place near the under construction waterway. Is the waterway broken? When I advanced while being a little anxious, I saw Kurosan waiting. Near Kurosan was a black, flat object. A black cushion? Looking at it closely, it's a big spider. Great. Its body is about 2 tatami mats in size. It's not